Welcome to the Post Status Cash Up, where I like to catch up with the people in WordPress. And today my guests are Clem Omotosho and Mary Baum. Welcome, both of you. How are you?
Great.
Good.
Doing amazing, Michelle.
Glad to hear it. I want to let you introduce yourselves a little bit. Tell us where you're located in the world, what you do with WordPress, and what's your role with WordCamp Canada. Clem, you go first.
Awesome. I'm located in Edmonton, Alberta, so over in Canada. And what I do in WordPress, I'm a student. I'm just completing my associate's degree in digital media and IT. Last semester, I took a course on content management systems, mainly WordPress, and that was how I got introduced to it. And I thought it was great. I really like the concept of open source software and how it's just a community that's building and maintaining the software that everyone uses. And so I got curious, looked around for any local meetups, any groups, anyone else that I could talk to about this and learn more. Found one over in Edmonton, and we've been meeting up every month, just sharing wins, sharing stories, and doing all things WordPress. And so that was how I got in touch with one of the organizers, WordCamp Canada, signed up to be a volunteer. And here we are.
And what are you doing? What's your role on the team for WordCamp Canada?
Yeah, so I'm with the social media and marketing team. So I help manage our social media accounts, help with content on the website, writing articles and communications, appearing on episodes like this. In different public spaces, and any other tasks that I can help out with.
Yeah. Fantastic. Well, welcome. You're a fairly new person to WordPress, and this is probably then your first WordCamp also. So welcome to the whole experience. I will promise you that once you've joined us, we never let go. So it's nice to have you here for the rest of your life.
Happy to be here.
Mary and I can both attest. We've been around for a little bit of time here with WordPress. But Mary, why don't you go ahead and tell us about yourself too?
Okay, I am sitting in St. Louis, Missouri, which is in the U.S. I'm in WordPress currently. I'm an editor of the developer blog, the WordPress developer blog, and I've been on a number of releases. Used to speak a lot at WordCamps when we had a lot of WordCamps. And two of my editors on the developer blog are lead organizers for WordCamp Canada, and they invited me to be a lead organizer for WordCamp Canada. So here I am, and I am running the comms team, of which Clem is one of the greatest members. Clem's been doing a lot, and he's all over our social media.
Excellent.
We have a couple of other terrific members too, who are busy writing posts and doing actual journalism. And I check in every once in a while and edit a post and try not to take any credit because I'm not really doing much other than saying, go.
Nice job, team. Keep it up.
Nice job, team. Yes. So
that's awesome.
Yes, and looking forward to Canada in the fall.
Very nice. So last year was the first ever WordCamp Canada. I was fortunate both to attend and speak at that event, and it was done very, very well. I was very impressed. The location this year has changed. WordCamp Ottawa used to take place at Carleton University. Last year, WordCamp Canada was moved to a conference center. But this year, we're back to Carleton. And so can you tell me a little bit about what you're looking forward to, why you're excited to have it on a college campus again?
I think college campuses are great places for WordCamps. We had WordCamp St. Louis on the campus of Washington University for many years, 5 or so. And I like that mostly because it's about 7 minutes from this very chair. And also, a parking garage is really easy to deal with. But a college campus is just great because it represents everything we want a WordCamp to be. Getting together, the hallway track, seeing old friends, making new friends, learning stuff, teaching stuff. What could be a better venue?
And classrooms are already set up for exactly what we need.
Yes, exactly.
And one of the things I love about college campuses is, by and large, they are fairly accessible for people who are using mobility devices like I do. And so I don't worry that I won't have access when it's at a college campus, which I think is pretty cool. Clem, now you were... Go ahead, Mary.
And for those of us who are trying to get steps in, there's also plenty of opportunities to do that.
There are endless sidewalks, indoor and outdoor, hallways and sidewalks at college campuses. This is true. Mm-hmm. And Ottawa is pretty special. I don't know if either of you have been to Ottawa before, but the Byward Market is pretty cool. Like, the city itself is really neat. The Rideau Canal and all the things that you can do there. Years ago, I did a pretty fun, what do you call it? It was both a bus and a boat. So you're on this bus and you are traveling. I was sightseeing around Ottawa, and next thing you know, we're driving right down into the river. It was one of the most interesting.
Oh, is that one of those ducks?
Yeah, it was called the Lady Dive Tour, which I thought was really fun. It was a lot of fun. No air conditioning, so it was a little warm, but it was a lot of fun. A lot of things to see and do. Clem, you've not been to a WordCamp before, so clearly you weren't at either last year's or in Ottawa before. But what are you most excited about when it comes to either having it at a college college campus, or just in general about attending your first WordCamp this year?
With attending my first WordCamp this year, there's a lot of things I'm looking forward to. The first one being meeting all the fellow volunteers and organizers in person for the first time. Put a face to the Slack handles. Mm-hmm. And also new connections, new friends, and everyone's experience in WordPress so far. One of the beauties of WordCamp is that there's a lot of folks from different backgrounds, different walks of life, and so they will all have their own personal experiences with WordPress, whether they're using it professionally, whether they're using it personally, whether it's with a side business, and just lots and lots of stories, lots of things to connect over, and I think that'll be great. I also applied to be a speaker at WordCamp Canada. Still haven't heard back. Fingers crossed. But
same.
It'll be my first time. It'll be my first time speaking at a conference. So
nice.
Kind of nervous, but it'll be a great experience.
Absolutely.
So mostly that.
I'm excited for you because when I think back to my very first WordCamp, it was in Buffalo. It was a smaller camp. It was about 120, 130 people, I think. And I don't get nervous easily, but I was not a tech person, and I was not a part of a tech community. And this was my first foray into that. And so I was kind of nervous when I went there, and honestly had this kind of expectation that I was going to say or do something stupid, but none of which happened. So it was very exciting to be part of a community that was just so enveloping and so just open and wonderful to spend time with. So I think you will enjoy that as well. Now, I know that the speakers haven't been informed yet, so I know that there's no schedule on the site yet. It will be out soon. If people are looking, it's canada.wordcamp.org/2025. You can go buy your tickets now. But when you do announce that, do you know how many tracks there will be for speakers? How many sessions you're looking to fill?
At least 2. I can tell you for sure that there will be 2. One of them will be very interesting and new, which is it's going to be more about the future of the web and how AI and open source fit together. And the other will be a more practical, typical WordCamp track with business and developer and user talks. That track might expand to 3, but it's not at all clear yet whether or not it will. But that second track, that's the one that is the reason our keynote speakers, Dave Weiner and Evan, whose last name I'm forgetting, they'll be promoting that track. Dave has a tool that now works with WordPress.com, but also I think is coming to WordPress, is coming to the plugin repo. He's going to teach people how to use it and how to particularly use it to help federate WordPress even more than it is now. And he's blogging on WordCamp Canada site extensively about that. And Evan is approaching things, I think, from an AI, but also Fediverse point of view. So that's very forward-looking. And you don't have to be a developer to follow that conversation. I think if you are at all interested in the future of the world as we know it, which basically is the future of the web, I think that's very exciting. And we are possibly having one more keynote who will be on the traditional WordCamp site that we hope particularly potential speakers of the future will really be thrilled to hear from.
Nice. Now, Clem, Mary mentioned earlier the hallway track. Are you familiar with what that is? It's different than the tracks that we have speakers in.
Not extensively, no.
Mary, why don't you tell everybody what the hallway track is when we talk about WordCamps?
There are some people who come to WordCamps only for the hallway track. And what that is the people you meet in the hallway. The friends you make, the conversations you have. All that stuff people talk about trying to get developers to go to an office all day and code, except really what they're doing is being in Zooms with people who are not in the office. That is corporate managers trying to build the hallway track and clearly failing.
Yeah, it's the networking. It's also the swag. Don't let anybody lie to you. It's all about the swag sometimes. I have a lot of swag in this office. I'm not going to pull it all out because we'd be here for a day and a half, but swag is always fun too. But it's about getting to meet other people. It's about networking. It's about growing your space in the community by meeting new people and forging those relationships.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things I can say unequivocally is the food last year was on point, especially the after party. They had beaver tails, they had poutine, they had all the things that that Canada is known for. Can we look forward to similar things this year? Will the food be amazing?
I'm sure it will be. We have an actual Carleton employee dealing with the venue, and we're expected to see food choices coming in September. So I don't know for sure, but
I would guess it'll be good.
Certainly going to be Canada-centric.
Very nice.
Although I did look on the map, and Ottawa's awfully close to that Quebec border. So
it's true.
Maybe we can see a little French stuff too.
You never know.
That would be merveilleux.
That's true. It would. One of the things that I noticed too is when we do have WordCamp Montreal, for example, there are talks in both English and Canadian French. And so are we looking to have only English speaking tracks this year, or will we have some also in Canadian French?
I think there might be one in French. I would imagine there will be French subtitles.
Okay, very good. So that we're
accessible subtitles.
Yeah, and I know in Canada that there's laws about at least in the Quebec, a province, laws about having websites in both English and French. So I imagine we'll see some of that as well.
The WordCamp Canada website is in both English and French,
which makes sense. Absolutely.
I haven't read completely through it yet, the French version yet, but I still plan to.
I'd have to get on Duolingo to bring back some of my high school French to be able to read it in French. So I'll stick to the English for now. But Clem, I'm sorry, what else are you looking forward to? What are some of the things that you can tell us might be different this year, or that are, things that we should spotlight and really pay attention to that are coming up with WordCamp Canada?
I can't speak on different this year just because I haven't been at any previous WordCamps. But at the talks, I know the talks are going to be really, really great. Lots of opportunities to learn new things about WordPress, especially if you're like me, if you're a beginner, you don't really have a background. It's a lot of sessions that are going to be really easy to follow. You'll pick up something new, and regardless of what your background is in this space, whether it's you're a hobbyist, whether it's professionally, there's going to be lots that you can take away and apply to whatever you're using WordPress for. So I'm really looking forward to that. And I interrupt you.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Yeah. A lot of there's going to be some after parties, the after party going on, and a lot of, what's the word that I'm looking for? A lot of opportunities to really connect with people, learn from them. A lot of experts in the space. Mary, Michelle, you've been in the WordPress space for a long, long, long time. And I think Mary,
not our first rodeo.
Mary, you were designing before the internet even became a thing.
Yes, I was.
Yeah, I was looking through your work. I noticed you had some designs with Light Chef, Kanika Phillips, Marissa Automotive. Yeah. And I'm a web designer and developer, so I'm even excited to show you some of my designs and see what you think. So mostly things around the community side of WordPress that I'm excited for, meeting new folks, building new connections, and really seeing where that leads.
Nice. I was just looking at the website. There are still spaces available for sponsors. So if you're looking to sponsor an event like this, please go to canada.wordcamp.org/2025, and you can find the call for sponsors there. And tickets are available, of course. It's still kind of early, so I imagine you haven't sold a ton of tickets yet because WordCamp is coming up at the mid-October. But tickets are $100, and I don't know if that's 100 Canadian or 100 American. Do you know?
I suspect it's Canadian.
Okay, so that's the cost for the 2-day event. And do we know where the after party is yet? Is that something we can talk about, or is that still in discussion?
I think that's still in discussion.
Okay. Awesome. Well, what haven't I asked you about that you're dying to tell me about WordCamp Canada 2025? Am I just that good? We've got all the information.
You're just that good.
Awesome. I love it. Well, if anybody's interested, the call for speakers is closed, but you can still sponsor, and absolutely you can still attend. Canada is... You can
still volunteer. In fact...
Yes, thank you.
If you are watching this and you are an experienced WordCamp volunteer, and if you've been on an organizing team, we actually are still looking for an attendee experience person to write visa letters and answer attendee questions as they come up. And we could use a little more help. We could use more volunteers. We have finally landed a volunteer wrangler. So there will be somebody to like walk you through the venue and tell you where you're going to be if you're a volunteer. But we do still need on-site volunteers, and we could use a couple more people with social media, actually, to promote the event.
Awesome. So if people are interested, is that still one of the open calls? Is that something? Yep, there it is. So call for volunteers is still open on the website. So you can absolutely go and apply to volunteer at WordCamp Canada.
And we have deals for hotels too.
Oh, very good. So you can look at the blocks of hotels that are there. Excellent. Well, I, for one, am looking forward to it. I plan to be there, barring anything else. It's my birthday weekend. It's the day, my birthday is October 15th, so I can celebrate with my Canadian friends and some American friends, obviously, on the 16th and 17th. I like to think when I attend a WordCamp around my birthday, I pretend the after party is all about me, but nobody else does, but I pretend it.
Well, I'll pretend that too.
Okay,
we will be coming from a birthday party for our grandson's 3rd birthday.
Oh, exciting.
And if you hear high-pitched noises coming from my mic, that's who that is. They just arrived from Connecticut.
Oh, very good. Well, I'm excited.
That's so funny that you mentioned that my birthday is on the 12th of October.
There you go.
That's when Leah's is.
We're just going to have a giant celebration. I think I'm older than you, Clem, but that's okay. Oh, very good. Well, thank you both so much for spending some time today talking about WordCamp Canada. Looking forward to its second year this year. If people have questions, canada.wordcamp.org/2025. Follow them on all the social channels and make sure you get your ticket and apply to be a volunteer if that's something you'd like to do too. You can learn so much from volunteering at a WordCamp for sure. Well, thank you both so much for spending some time with me today. It's been delightful to learn a little bit more about each of you and what's coming up for this year's WordCamp.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
My pleasure.